5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, February 25th. Running a little bit late tonight, 9:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Joe Patron on the ZNZ Hangouts. Let me jump into the chat here and refresh screens. Can everyone hear me? Lindsay's having issues this evening. They've had blizzards going through the Arkansas Valley area where she lives. She already lives out in the middle of the sticks. So the internet's kept touch and go. She may be able to pop on. She's got the link. She may be able to do it with her phone as well. And that's how I've been talking to her on Facebook. Lisa, I'm going to take that as a yeah, you can hear me. Okay, you guys, let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm running solo tonight, so I can't hear myself. Okay, cool. All right, Amy says that she can hear. All right. Thanks for your patience. Appreciate it. We had a couple of little things planned here tonight, and without Lindsay, we're going to go ahead and run through. I'm going to let you know about myself, about the company, how it works, how we make money with it, and give you a little bit of the ins and outs. I came across this company. The company's called ZNZ, Zip Not a Zilch, LLC. They're based in Wichita Falls, Texas. If you're here, there's a good portion of you that are already on the team, or you've seen an ad. And I kept seeing these ads about how to make money online, and I had started looking in 2007 and found some different programs, and it almost seemed like you had to become a programmer or learn how to build these websites and all these kind of different types of technical aspects of the business. It seemed like a lot more complicated. I paid money on a monthly basis to be more confused than ever. And then in 2012, I had decided I wanted to try and figure out how to do a t-shirt business. So I was doing some research, and I stumbled into a tweet on Twitter that said, "Got no scratch to get started, check out Scratch Marketing." Now, I was working with very limited capital. I had left a job of 7 years. And as I said, I was trying to figure out, I had a couple ideas with some novelty t-shirts and things of that nature. And so that's how I stumbled into it, and I clicked on it. It led me to a presentation very similar to what you should have gone through with ZNZ. And I was skeptical, I'm an optimistic kind of person, and I've always been, assertive in going after my dreams and things of that nature. But it's the internet, you know what I'm saying? And it's like there's not a lot of certainty when you're not that familiar with it. Now that I've been working online for the last 4 years, I found this in 2012, but back in 2007, I was doing different things, and I was trying to learn. Like I said, I was more confused. I had been, messing around with it for quite some time. 2011, I dug into the t-shirt thing, and for almost an entire year, I started playing around with graphic design and things of that nature, kind of self-educating myself as I went along. But then I stumbled into this. I wanted something that was simple, didn't take a whole lot of money to get started, didn't require a lot of those technical things, And I kept running into different companies where they had products and services and lotions and potions, and I just really wasn't into selling that kind of fad stuff, or different products and the purple juice and all those kinds of things. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Now, I've done a lot of different things in the past in sales and marketing and so on and so forth. I have 12 years background in real estate. I was licensed in life and health insurance. I also never went to high school. I was a runaway kid. I don't tell that story as often as but yeah, it wasn't that I was a troubled kid. I had different ideas and aspirations, and everybody else was going right, I was going left. I wanted to kind of do my own thing. I wanted freedom, and as I grew older, it was kind of funny because as a runaway kid, I sat to myself and I asked, I said, "What are you running away from?" And the answer was, what was I running to? And I was running to the two things that really, they're on my fan page. That's kind of what this is about for me, was freedom and peace of mind. I always wanted to. I've done different things in business. I've worked for many different companies. I wore the suit and tie. I grew up in the restaurant business. My father was a carpet installer and a flooring installer. You know what I'm saying? I've done it from construction to restaurants to sales, you know, living on the streets as a kid, you know, like I said, education is extremely important. I'm quite educated because of my drive and my desires and my thirst for knowledge, you know. So regardless of your situation, I'm kind of telling you these kind of things because you don't need a lot of technical skills. You don't need a lot of money. You're going to need, you know, what I say one thing, but that one thing kind of encompasses some things, and that's the heart. You've got to have passion. You've got to have desire, and you've got to have conviction in what you want to achieve in your life. That's the number one thing. It doesn't matter what company I'm going to tell you about here or how long I've been with them or how wonderful I've done. I've also made a lot of mistakes, you know, in business in the past too. I've probably lost more than most people have in their lives. And I'm not saying that to brag, you know, what is there to really, you know, claim to fame? I've lost, you know, I've made a lot of things in life, but I've also lost a lot of things in life. So it gives you a lot of wisdom and a lot of character and a lot of understanding. And like I said, when it comes down to it, you know, it really just, you know, this is a decision about you. You know, this isn't a decision about, you know, whether this is real or not. We're going to show you it's real. We're going to log right in. You know, you're going to see that there's real money on the table. It's not a joke. We're not wasting our time here to, you know, stroke our own ego or anything like that. I don't get paid to do this. I'm doing this as a service to the team, as one of the team players. And you know, technical difficulties. You know, I had no intentions this evening of sitting here and running this meeting myself, but we make commitments and you step up as a leader and you do what you need to do in those times. And that's part of these qualities. You know, there's an expression, and there's some notes I actually made that I'm not even looking at, but I want to grab here real quick this evening. And I was talking about the decision really is about yourself, and it's making a commitment to yourself. You know, when you have to sit back and look at where you're at in your life, you know, your best thinking in your life has brought you to where you're at right now. And I wanted to ask an honest question to everybody that's watching this, because I had to do this to myself. You know, are you at your current age right now? I'm 46 years old. I'll be 47 in June. You know, are you where you thought you would be in your life? When you were a kid, and you were thinking and dreaming of your life, and as you were growing up and going into middle school and high school, and you started to get different ideas and different passions and things that, you know, intrigued you, everybody dreams about what they want to do with their life or where they think they're going to be with their life, you know, and at your current age, are you there now? Are you living the life that you wanted? You know, I had to be honest with myself, no. Even though I've been doing this for a little while, it's, you know, and I've had some successes, and I've made quite a bit of money. There are still some things that I've wanted to achieve, you know, and that's what keeps me pushing and moving forward. And that's what you really got to kind of ask yourself when you're sitting here looking at this. I'm no better than anyone here, you know what I mean? But I've made a couple $100,000 online doing this. I've made quite a bit of money in business as well. And as I said, I've lost it. I mean, I'm going to give you a quick prime example. When I was in the real estate business, I really wanted to, one of those kids that was sitting there dreaming about these infomercials that I was watching where these people were like, I bought a house and flipped it in 4 months and I made $62,000. And I was like, wow, you know, that would be really cool. Yes, I was a runaway at 13 years old, but at 16 years old, I was sitting in a real estate investment seminar in a hotel watching Tom Vu, an Asian guy, talk about how to do no money down real estate deals and showing a newspaper article where he bought a piece of property for a penny. And just that type of stuff intrigued me. And that's what I was talking about as far as passion and heart and desire. You know, I'm not going to get into the story of why and how, you know, some of the things I went through when I was a runaway, but I still, you know, I had vision and passion, and it was, you know, it was, like I said, I was running to my freedom and peace of mind. Freedom to me is being able to live my life the way I want, you know, rather than, you know, the way I have to. When you're working a job, you know, you've got to be there at a certain time. You've got to be there on their schedule. You've got to get permissions to take vacations, have additional days off. You got things that come up with the family. You've got to get permission to live your life the way you need to live your life. And that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. You know, I did it for many, many years. It just wasn't what I wanted my life to be. So, you know, in those instances, I had to make some decisions and some changes, you know, into what I wanted to do. So what I had been doing up to that point wasn't working, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I'm getting at as far as the decision, because there's some people that are new. There's a lot of people that are here on the team, and there's some people that are doing well, and people that are consistent, and there's some people that are struggling and they're doubting and they're having, um, your personal challenges. You're the biggest obstacle that you're ever going to run into in this business. You, the person that you look at in the mirror, is your number one challenge, because we question ourselves and we doubt ourselves, when the reality of it is, if I can look at a picture and think, wow, and I'm going to give a perfect example. I saw a picture of a bank vault, and this was an ad from a newspaper article or something like that. A really cool, big-looking bank vault, had the door opening up and everything, and it said banks took $30 trillion in bank fees from people that didn't have any money. And it's like, when that, it's kind of hard to fathom $30 trillion. But the irony in that, some of the biggest institutions in the world are making most of their, that much money on people that are broke, that don't have the money. And I thought, this business that we work gives us the opportunity to get paid daily. And it's based on your efforts, which gets to that freedom there. Now, when you go, what do? You go to work for a job because you need money, right? Okay, well, the company we work for is called ZNZ, and ZNZ pays out every single day. I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you how we can earn commissions up to $100. Now, I don't know what your goal is. My goal when I first started out with this and I came across this, I said, you know what, man, if I can make $1,000 a week and have it coming in consistently, that would give me enough to take care of my base needs. I'm a single guy now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, my daughter's just turned 19. I still help and do what I can there, but for the most part, I can live comfortably on $1,000 a week is what I really, a few years ago when I had gotten into this, that was kind of my number. So, that's 10 deals, in a week's time. Now, it may seem like a lot, but you're using the internet. The internet gives you the ability to leverage your time, and that's kind of what this is about. You're kind of learning, it's not just going to work online and make money. You know what I'm saying? You're actually, for those of you that have been around for a while, and I'll pop into the chat here, maybe Amy, Corey, what you learn in this thing is not sure. Sorry, I got a private message. I was reading it. Rhonda, I'm going to have to get back with you on that. I was basically talking about the type of knowledge and ability and the freedom and peace of mind. The peace of mind to me was making enough money on my own to be able to take care of my family's needs and my needs without ever having to depend on anybody. I'm going to talk to you about ZNZ. I'm going to show you ZNZ, but if I left ZNZ today, I know the knowledge that I have is equivalent to probably a master's degree in marketing with what I've learned and what I've done over the last few years, plus what I've also learned and throughout my life and my experiences and things of that nature. Hold on a second. Yeah, Lindsay's hitting me up and said she's having a really hard time getting onto the webinar, so she's still trying. But lost my train of thought. That's one of the downfalls. I'll give you one of the ugly parts of working online is all the bells and whistles and flashing objects. I have several windows open. I've got people messaging me on Skype, people messaging me on Facebook. I'm in a chat and what have you. So that's kind of some of the fun parts and the challenges and what have you. But I was talking about the education being kind of the equivalent to a master's degree, because what I've learned in marketing actually, without having all the expenses that it takes you into college, without having to go through a year or 2 years of prerequisites and sit in classes and all that kind of stuff. Now, you're going to sit and learn. I'm not telling you that this stuff is going to just magically fall into place for you and exactly what's going to work for you. I'm not telling you your bank account's going to magically fill up because you showed up here on a Wednesday night. So watching this, I'm not making any kind of claims. What I am claiming is, I guess I can't make a claim, or I would be making a claim. So let me just get out of that. Like I said, there's no promises here other than we're going to be honest with you. We're going to be straightforward, and we're going to do everything we can to help you out. Like I said, I'm here on a Wednesday night volunteering my time to share my knowledge and experience with you guys that are a little bit less experienced, and they're trying to learn about this. you can take this knowledge and you can take it anywhere. I can take any company now. See, I learned, and the reason I started off with that, and now I know where I was going. When I took that picture of the banking industry and I put an ad with it, I said, you know what? Are you tired of falling victim to this? How would you like to take control of your life back and be in a position where you have the opportunity to earn cash on a regular basis? Because usually, the biggest problem when you're struggling, you're having a hard time, and you need money, the biggest thing is touching cash quickly. That was the number one thing that sold me on this right here. It's, number one, companies like GameFly, Discover Card, Equifax, CreditReport.com, Hydroxytone, they've been around for years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? These are reputable companies. They all put out trial, Netflix, they put out trial offers for you to check it out. Who's not around anymore? Blockbuster was one of the ones I was thinking of. But, they all had trial offers. Hey, come try it out. Let me give you a perfect example. I thought about this. I don't know if I was just in a general conversation or not, but when you go to the grocery store and you're doing some shopping and you come around the corner by the deli department, and there's a little lady with a hairnet on. She's got a little counter there, and she's got a little plastic thing, and she's got some toothpicks, and, she's got some little sausages, and she's got them all cut up a little nice, and she's got some little squares of cheese, and then she's got some little crackers here, and she's got a couple boxes there so you can actually see what it is. We've got, I'm not going to get any names out there, but like I said, you've got some cheese and crackers here and some sausage, and she says, hey, would you like to try some of this? This is something that we go through on a regular basis, and there's a lot of times we don't think about this. It's the internet. Oh, my God, we got to beware, and you want to be cautious, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure it was real. I didn't just, I actually, what I did is when I seen the tweet on Twitter, which is how I found it. Most of you guys probably came through Facebook. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. My microphone kind of slides around and goes in and out sometimes. But I had seen that tweet on Twitter. I went and watched the video, and I was like, man, this makes this total sense. It's just advertising. Instead of them doing another TV commercial that people are skipping now, people are using TiVo and DVRs. How many of you actually, I'm going to say, raise your hand. I can't really see you online, but I'm here raising my hand because I don't really watch commercials that much anymore. I see different things and videos on the internet, and sometimes even those, because I'm watching videos throughout the day and trying to learn different stuff and different ideas and techniques and things that I can share with the team, and also improve my marketing, because this is about learning how you can leverage your time with the internet. It runs 24/7, 365 days a year. It never ever shuts down. So when you're doing this advertising and you're putting ads out and doing different things like, the blogs, or you're putting ads out on different, pages and things of that nature, it's like putting out a bunch of little bulletin boards on there and attracting people. But getting back to the everyday things that we do in life and how and why this works, it's the same way as that lady handing you some sausage and cheese and crackers and saying, hey, try this out. And you're like, you know what, that's actually really good, and I'm kind of in the mood for that. I'll go ahead and let me grab a box of that and, take one of each, and you go home and you have a nice little snack, depending on, I was thinking football season, but, it's still in my head. I seen something with Dallas Cowboys today. So I've got, jonesing for football already, and it just ended. But, something along those lines, you know what I'm saying, where, you're getting a trial offer. It's something we encompass every day, but, we go, oh, my God, online. It's just natural business. Sometimes there's some things that you got to buy, and you like them or not, you're there, you got them. There's other things that you check out first, and that's really where it comes into. I stumbled, or not stumbled, before I came into this company, probably back in 2008. Or 9, somewhere around there. I seen freecreditreport.com, and I wanted to kind of get an idea what my credit was, and I checked it out, and I said, I'd gone through a divorce, so I had some things on there that I was challenged with and I wanted to remove. And I thought, I've heard different people disputing this kind of stuff. So I went to all the credit reporting companies, and I disputed some different things, and they said, no, these two you got to wait on. And I had 4 months on one and 7 months on the other, and I was actually 40 years old, and I had a 0 credit score. I called Equifax up and I said, can you guys, I was going to pay for it. I had like $20. I was going to pay for it. They said you didn't have a credit score on there. But I started because I did a free trial. They said, hey, check it out for 7 days. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, cancel it. Well, at the end of 7 days, I said, you know what? I want to keep an eye on my credit because I was trying to do this. So I paid $15 a month for, 3 years. I ended up being a customer with them. So that $15 a month is $180 a year times 3 years is $540. Now they gave me a free trial and ended up with a customer that generated $540 with them. So let's take these companies that we are working with. Go ahead and get a couple windows open here. Like I said, it was kind of impromptu this evening. So anyways, when these companies that put out these trial offers, they kind of have an idea what their average customer is going to do, or let's say out of 10 people, they figure 3 of them are going to keep their service. So the other 7 may cancel, and that's okay. But if you're basing it off of me and being an average customer, you know, that $540 would turn into $1,620 for them letting people do free trials. So, you know, let's say they're paying, you know, commissions on those, and this is how this works. People do a trial offer, and these companies pay a commission for the advertising. They get to advertise on ZNZ's website, which I need to get to so that I can open them up for you. Give me 1 second here, guys. And I will set it up and share my screen. All right. These are going to be some of the things that I'm just going to give a quick little example of a system that I set up here and how I do this kind of stuff. And then from here, I can do that. That's all right, cool. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. And like I said, me kind of throwing this back together here. It doesn't look like Lindsay's going to be able to log on. Stephanie's been having to jump on and off with her phone with the lovely winter weather wonderland that we got going on. Let me share my screen. I'm going to jump into the company, and like I said, I'm kind of doing an impromptu, so I'm all over the map tonight. But another aspect of this business, because I'm going to actually show you what I do and how I run it through. Some of you are probably familiar with it if you're coming in with me. A couple of the girls, Stephanie and Janisha, are relatively new, so they've actually seen that. And if we switch it over, I do this all the time. It's kind of weird when you go to screen share. If you leave it on that page, it keeps sharing that same screen over and over again, and it's kind of like a hologram, and it just looks really weird. And you're not really sure if it switched over, but obviously it did because you guys are seeing the chat right now. Okay, so basically, here's what you're doing. All of you have gone through and you've seen some advertisements, and you've probably talked to somebody, and you end up coming to, this is a capture page that I put together. Basically, it's just a little explanation of kind of how it is, and then they're going to come down here and they're going to fill out some information, and they're going to submit it, and you're going to get an email that says, hey, this person is interested. Now, once they do that, it switches over to another system, which is, you know, the freedom working from home is what I kind of alluded to you guys earlier about having my freedom, and then the peace of mind is knowing that I can, you know, pay my bills and take care of my family without having to ever really depend on any one person or any kind of product or service. And are you guys, oh, I'm sharing my screen. My camera went off and I'm going, what happened? I thought something went wrong. So sorry about that. So anyways, you're going to end up going into a system. We have another one set up for you that's similar to this. And then, you know, once you go through and you get the information, you get access to the company. We're going to go into ZNZ1 here. This is the one of 2 programs that we work. And again, please, you know, excuse me. I mean, I have done this quite a few different times, but we had a different lineup going this evening, so I'm kind of doing a little impromptu. But ZNZ1 is the first program that we work. They pay out $20 per deal on it. I'm going to go in, once I log in, I'm going to show you how everything works and how you get the $20. I just wanted to hold them. When I hold the mouse over the PayPal, you can see cash is deposited right into your PayPal account with no fees. $20 per referral. Now, this program may happen to be giving you a $5 bonus as well, so you're actually going to make 25 bucks on that program there. When you scroll down to the bottom, all you need is an email address to sign up. It doesn't cost you any money to sign up. Okay, you don't ever pay me anything or to teach you or anything like that. You don't pay ZNZ any money to sign up here. Now, the same way, I get a lot of people coming to me and talking about, excuse me, The biggest number one thing that I get from people is, oh, well, if it costs money, it's got to be a scam, and I have to laugh, and it's frustrating at times too, because everything in life costs money. The clothes you're wearing, I want to say the air you're breathing, and, it's actually probably clean, might be filtered air, you might have paid for that or what have you. But, when you get a job, and I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. This is really why it's hilarious for me. I grew up in the restaurant business, as I said, when I was a kid. I also did the real estate and the flooring and all that kind of various things. But Red Lobster was a company I went to work for, okay? Now, of course, I was driving around. I had to spend money on gas to get in my truck and drive there. I had went in and I talked to one of the managers and I filled out an application, and they sat me down for an interview, and they said, okay, things sound pretty good. You got a lot of experience and what have you. What I want you to do is I want you to come back tomorrow when my other manager is working, because we do 2 interviews, and I want you to speak with them and the bar manager or floor manager, because I worked actually for them. I worked as a bartender and waiter. I've also been a chef. I've owned my own restaurants. I won't get into that story another time, another place. So I went ahead and left, and I got back in my truck again, which of course required more gas to drive back there and do another interview, and everything went well. They said, okay, what I need you to do is you need to make sure you have non-slip shoes. You have to have black dress slacks. We have to have white Oxford button-down long sleeve collared shirts. And of course, they've got to be pressed and the sleeves creased so they look professional. Got to have black socks on. And then what we want you to do is we want you to come back on Monday. Okay, so $30 for non-slip shoes, which I'm going to just use the $30, but I went through about 4 pairs a year. In the restaurant business, I mean, if you really think about how much running and mileage that we actually do, we used to joke around about that. And I know they have those counters that you can put on your ankle, and it tells you how many miles you went. There's people that have actually done stuff like that. It's like 20, 25 miles on a Friday night inside the building, running around from table to table, kitchen back and forth when you're in a busy environment. Anyways, $30 for the shoes. Slacks were $25 a piece. 2 pairs of slacks. You're not going to wear the same pair of pants every single night. So that was $50, $30 for the shoes. We're at $80 right now. The white button-down Oxford shirts, you're wearing white long-sleeve shirts in a restaurant where you're slinging food. I'm slinging drinks as a bartender. I used to like to play around, flip glasses and things like that. You're going to splash things on them. But I bought 3 shirts. I'm working 5 nights out of the week, and you wash them, and you get away with them for a month or 2. Usually about 2 months, I had to replace. I had to go buy another 3 shirts. You might get away with it, and there's different, you're spilling cocktail sauce on it and ketchup and different things, and splashing butter. Butter's the worst because it's like an oil. But anyways, I bought 3 of those shirts at $17 a piece. Is $51. So now I've spent $80 on the shoes and the pants. I'm at $51 on the shirts. I spent $131. I also drove back and forth twice so far for 2 different interviews and spent money on gas. I won't even bother with the socks and all that. I'm pretty sure I already had some dark socks to wear, so we lucked out there. But they did cost money when we bought them. They said, okay, cool. Come back in on Monday, and you're going to go through 5 days of training. So for 5 days, I got to drive back and forth to the restaurant. I haven't made a dime yet. I haven't got on the floor. I haven't got to talk to anybody, not work a shift. This has probably taken place over about an 8 or 10 day period. All right, I've spent $131 between 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, and the shoes. All right, 2 trips for the interviews, 5 more trips, 7 trips I've made in my truck. All right, I'm going to be nice and just throw $20 in gas on there. Okay, gas prices have been pretty decent lately here, so you're talking $150 to get a job. And people come to me and go, well, that thing costs any money to work. It's a scam. Now, I'm a guy, so I didn't really have to worry about the kids as often. I do have kids, and they're grown and older now, but how many of you don't? Or have kids that aren't grown up? How many of you do have to worry about that? How many mothers are out there? What do you do when you go to work? You get childcare? You have to travel, relocate. There's so many different things. I was a real estate agent. I had to have licensing. I won't even get into the cost of that or how long it took me to get that to work that. I mean, there are some jobs you can wear your regular street clothes, and if you rode a bus, or you could walk, it was close enough, it may not cost you anything. might not be your dream job. It's not going to give you that freedom. You're still going to be working for them on their schedule and their time. And typically, if that's the job, it's probably not paying a whole lot of money where you're going to be able to live the dream lifestyle that you dreamed of when you were a kid. So, you know, the whole purpose of that is to be open-minded and be practical, okay? You know, because this is something that may be newer to you, but it's very, very real. This company's been around since July 14th of 2007 is when they started. When you guys get in there, like I said, it's called ZNZ. You can go check them out, and their homepage will tell you about the company and how that part works and everything as well. I'm going to go ahead and log into my ZNZ1 account here. Okay, awesome. This is green is blue is actually my favorite color, but green really comes, you know, right up there ranking with oxygen. Fortunately, we have one of these live tonight where I can show you even more so how this works. This is the ZNZ1 program. So all you did is put in an email address and you're live in here, okay? It didn't cost you anything. It's free. Now I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios this evening because I know that a lot of times when people come across this kind of thing, they'd love to do it. I mean, it gives you work it on your own time. So I might work for an hour or two a day. Doesn't mean that I have to do it in the morning. It doesn't mean I have to do it in the middle of the afternoon. I might be able to do it from 2 to 4 in the morning because I'm a night owl and I'm up and I can't sleep. I can put in 2 or 3 hours and set programs up to send offers out, I mean advertisements out, and let the internet work for me, and then I just come back in and follow up when I can, so you have your schedules. But anyways, I was talking about the companies and how this works in the offers. So I clicked on the offers tab, and I'm in on here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip. Right above the page numbers, you can actually filter these by cost. So if you want to look and see, hey, how's the cheapest that I can get this thing started? I'm going to show you how to do this for 100% for free. The price that you're actually going to pay is that you have to do something. You actually have to do it. You have to be responsible. You have to take actions, and you have to make a decision. So that's really what it's going to cost you. It's an email address to sign up. We're right here in the offers tab, and what you have to do is you have to get 1 credit. Okay. The way ZNZ makes their money is that they let these companies advertise on here. All right. So everybody that sees my ad that says, hey, I want to go check this thing out, they come here and they sign up, and they get to come to this page, and they see these companies' advertisements. So these companies, we let them advertise here for free. We say, look, we have X thousands of agents that work all over the internet, and we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of ads being put out on every single day, and they have all the statistics and everything of how many people actually come into the website. So they say to these companies, you can advertise on here for free, and then when we bring you a customer like GameFly, I'm going to use GameFly here. All right, it's going to give you 1/3 of a credit, so it's 0.3, and it's 100% free. And I hold my mouse over the logo here, and I look at the description. It says join GameFly today and get 1 month. I'm actually going to throw you a month of Hulu Plus, so you can actually watch TV and play games. Very cool. To receive the credit, you must sign up with a service and a valid credit card, which you can actually use your debit card. It's still free. All right, they're not going to charge you anything, but they're in business to make money. You know, it's sending you all those games back and forth, just like any other business. You know, when you go to the convenience store and you get gas, you're paying for that service. You know, these companies advertise so that they can actually make money. They're going to give you a chance, just like the lady in the store that's handing you that sausage, cheese, and crackers. She's going to give you a free sample. That doesn't mean you have to take it and buy it and go home and eat it or nothing. You tried it out, you didn't like it? No, thank you. I don't really want to get anything today. GameFly, you're going to try it out for a month. They say, look, check it out for at least 25 days out of the 30. So you're giving it an honest evaluation. And if you like it, keep it. If you don't, cancel it. With today's technology and kids, who doesn't have GameFly? You know what I'm saying? I got it. And I actually kept it, as a result of doing the trial offers there. I like to play some games on occasion. Not as much as I do anymore. I'm more committed to myself and my business, but it's a free trial. It didn't cost you a dime. My life identity. This is like a monitoring service for your credit and your name and things of that nature. With everything being a digital, there's 2 billion people that are online right now, and there's about to be about 6 billion. I was watching a Tony Robbins, Frank Kern video a couple weeks ago, and if you think about how fast cell phones are coming out and the technology and how much it's spreading around the world, and you know what I'm saying, I think my first computer was somewhere back in the early 90s. I can remember in 1995. I worked on them prior to that, but I think in 95 was when I kind of got them. I mean, my kids Well, as a matter of fact, my daughter was born in '96, and I know she sat on my lap, and I showed her different things. So, difference being, I was born in '68, so up to what 90 is 22. I was 27 years old before I got a computer. My daughter, as a baby, sat on my lap and had a computer in front of her. So as the societies evolve and the generations evolve, they're what we call digital natives. They're already digital. So more and more things are going to the internet. Another funny thing about this is people talk about, oh, well, I don't want to put my debit card out there, but they'll go up to the gas station and they stick it in the gas pump and they slide it out there. Well, how do you think they process that in about 5 seconds for you? You want that convenience? Well, guess what? You just swipe the machine that shot your information across the internet to a holding house or clearing house. That shot a signal over to your bank. Your bank said, boom, yep, it's there. Yep, boom, there's money. Shot that signal back and shot it back to that gas pump fast enough where you don't get upset. You got your modern day convenience there, and you're filling your gas tank up with an internet connection and an internet transaction with your debit or your credit card. You walk inside that store and you swipe it. You go shopping at the mall, you swipe your card. You go to Taco Bell, you swipe your card. All that's transactions are going through the internet. So don't think for a minute that because we're on the internet, you know what I'm saying, that, there's something wrong with it, because everything you do in your life, you're going to the grocery store and you're doing trial offers because you're trying different things out and checking them out. You're doing online digital transactions with your credit and debit cards on a daily basis. Open your mind, expand your horizons. You know what I'm saying? You might learn something new that's going to actually benefit your life. Now, this is your identity protection. They have a service there. Check it out for a week. This one's a 7-day trial. Check it out for 5 out of 7 days. You like it, keep it. You don't, cancel it. It's 0.20 credits, and it was actually free. Didn't cost. We haven't spent a dime yet. Okay, so that's 0.50. They're both for free. Down here, this is another 0.50, and it's a credit reporting service, just like I told you I did back in 2008, and I explained to you how they made the money when I did that trial. This is no different. It just happens to be 2015 instead of when I did it 7 years ago. So that's another, testament and validation to it's been around for a while. This isn't something new, and guess what? We're going from 2 billion to about 6 billion people that are going to be on the internet. Do you think this is going away anytime soon? Do you think people are going to give up their cell phones and their computers and their tablets and their modern, technologies that they've grown to, expect to have happen in seconds, now? Absolutely not. It's not going anywhere. So you're in the right place at the right time with a great opportunity that puts your life in your control in your hands. Okay, now I've said to you, I've showed you right here. This is free. This is free. This is free. Okay, you can do 3 trials right here with something, what I'm saying? You do a debit or credit card. They're just going to make sure it's valid, make sure it's real. All right, you haven't spent a dime, and I've showed you how to have a business in your hand. I'm sitting in my house, okay, that you can get started working. What did you see when we logged in? Let's go back and read it. Green. I love this little green bar. Congratulations, you've met all the requirements in your order. You may place your order by clicking here. Now, what that basically means is that somebody saw my advertisement. They went in, they checked everything. They talked to me probably on Facebook. I didn't really put ads out anywhere else today. And I'm going to be real frank with you. I use a program that's called Hootsuite. You can actually see it here on my toolbar. Now, they've changed their pricing on there. I'm not recommending that you run right out and get Hootsuite. There's actually a different program I'm not going to name tonight. I'm just happen to be using this, and I'm going to share that with you. There's a program. Now, I was able to go in there, and I took an ad, and I just, I kind of thought of something, and I typed it out. Or like I saw that bank picture, and it was on Facebook. I seen it says $30 trillion, banks charge people that don't have any money. And I said, are you tired of being in situations like this where you run out of money and you get the bank drafts and the overcharges and you want to take control? I said, learn how you can work with us online and make money. This green bar, this is $25 right here on this program. I showed you that you put in an email address and you for free. Okay, they never give, ZNZ, when you're filling out your profile information, you don't ever give them any credit or debit information. You give them nothing to charge. I've never paid ZNZ a dime. Don't cost me anything. I never paid Red Lobster a dime, but I went out and spent $150 and another, $20 in gas, $170 in about an 8 or 9 day period of time before I had an opportunity to make a dime. Interesting, huh? Think about what I just said to you guys. I spent almost $200 to get a job in a restaurant to go serve other people. I just showed you how to sign up for free. You can make $25 over and over and over and over and over again. You can copy and paste. There's thousands of classifieds. I took this little program over here and I took one ad and I put out 150 ads today. You know how long it took me to do that? About 15 minutes. We talk about copy and pasting. I pasted that ad in there and I said, hey, send this out to these eight different groups at 10:15, and I pasted that ad in there and I chose another 10 groups. I said, send it out to them at 10:30. And I chose another 10 groups, and I pasted that ad in there again, and I said, send it out to these guys at 11 o'clock. And that's about how long. It's click, copy, paste. So if you can copy and paste and you can follow directions, you could start this 100% free. Now, here's where the intelligent part of this comes into play. You can take that and leverage it. So if you could take this, go to town with it, make 25 bucks. I just showed you here. I'm going to click this button here in a little while. Before they usually process, they end the night at midnight. They're located in Texas, so they're in the Central Time Zone. I happen to be in the Central Time Zone right now. I'm still up in Minnesota visiting my daughter. I'm going to take off next week. But I'm going to submit this, probably around 10 or 11 o'clock, and they're going to go through and review. They're just going to make sure all the trials were done, that they can go ahead and tell these companies, hey, we sent you these guys, so you guys are going to pay a commission because we're going to give Joe 25 bucks tomorrow morning because he did a really great job. All right, and then because of who I am and the system that we have set up and the way it works, I'm going to go and in turn and help this person that signed up here, and I'm going to say, hey, let me teach you, let me show you the ropes. Let me show you how to use Facebook. Let me show you how to use Craigslist, Backpage, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter. I found it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different areas that you can do that in, and I'm just talking about the $20 program. I haven't even got into the other one just yet, okay? But the fact of the matter is that I didn't spend a dime yet. I did something that's been going on for years, something that you do every single day. You do trials. You try different things out. I don't even care if you go to a restaurant, you've never tried, something new on the menu or something you've never eaten on the menu, and you try it out, and you happen to not like it. In that specific situation there, a lot of times you could say, hey, this isn't to my liking, can I get something else? And they'll replace it for you. You know what I'm saying? Not the same exact comparison, but, this is just part of life. It's part of business. It's how it works, okay? Now, the second program that we work is called ZNZ Big Cash. So when you go over here and you check that out, all right, you're going to scroll down over here. Now, this one pays a little bit more money. This is the second program that we work, and I'm going to get a little quick here because I've kind of laid the foundation and the basis for you guys. I started a little bit late. It's about 5 to 10. So I'm going to wrap it up here in a little bit of period of time, but I want to make sure I run through this for you. Well, okay, with Big Cash, they pay us a $60 base. All right, as I showed you on the other one was $20 with a $5 bonus. The base on this is 60 bucks, and then they do a monthly bonus on a percentage, which is 15%. So 15% of that is going to be another $15, and they're paying 70 bucks. 75. So you get the 60 plus the $15 bonus. You're getting 75 on this program, and on ZNZ1, you're getting 25 over here. So if you work both of these programs, okay, you get 25 and 75, you make $100 a pop. You sign up for free on the same one on this one. How do they know it's you? Okay, on ZNZ1, I had an ID number. Okay, this one says you're being referred by user 445460. That's my ID number for Big Cash. It's different for ZNZ1. You can actually, some people will just complete program at a time. Some people do both. Now, I wanted to make $100 a pop. I didn't want to, turn around and look back or do any of that kind of stuff. So I went ahead and did both programs when I got started. I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to show you exactly right now on February 25th of 2015. I'm not going to go down further on here, but you saw the green bar on the other one. That person is also in the process. Has already done this. We're just waiting on a credit. So that other person is serious, and that's what I look for. I like people that take action. I spoke to this young lady this afternoon about 3 o'clock for the very first time. We went back and forth. She said, let me go check it out. And the next thing I knew, I seen the green bar pop up. She messaged me and said, hey, everything's done on both. I'm serious about this, which she actually showed me. It took her about 2 hours. Okay, she took action. She made a decision, and not only do I make the same commitment to everybody, but it's extremely impressive. When I see somebody take action to try and do something to better themselves, I'm going to step up and make sure that I'm there, as I do for everybody. And all you guys know me that are already in the group, you can testify to, whether, I participate in how much I train and how much I actually contribute on my own on a regular basis to help you guys out. But let's jump into the offers here. So I've already made $100 since 3 o'clock this afternoon. My time, which is 4 p.m., so in the last 4 or 5 hours. And like I said, it was a casual day. It took me about 15 minutes or so. I'm actually doing a couple of other different things, and I'm busy and I'm scattered. So I wanted to make sure that I used that program and threw that out there, and it made me $100. All right, now Big Cash pays you more money. It pays you 3 times the amount of more money. You got to see that we had to do a couple trials over there. You're going to have to do a few trials over here. And I want to point something out here because people, go, oh my God, I got to do all these trials. Well, it took me about 8 days to do 2 interviews, go out shopping, buy shoes, buy slacks, buy shirts, get them all washed, iron them, get dressed, and drive back and forth to a restaurant for 5 days, okay, to sit there for however many hours they wanted me to sit there and do whatever they wanted me to do and read and learn. I was in the real estate business. I sold timeshare one time in Kissimmee, Florida, right outside the gates of Disney, which is probably one of the most, that and Vegas are 2 of the most intense timeshare, areas in the world that drill you in the training. I had a 42-page pitch and 3 weeks of training before I could start selling that timeshare right outside the gates of Disney. So think of the things and the jobs that you've had in the past and the things that you've had to do for training and how hard you've worked for other people and how many times you wish, if there was a way that I could just, work for myself and take advantage, of a situation and just not have to worry about any company or any person or anybody supporting me other than me. And I didn't have any limitations and I could make as much money as I wanted to, okay, because you can get as many referrals as you want. You can put out as many ads as you want. Instead of playing another, round of Farmville or some Candy Crush or whatever you're playing on Facebook, you could actually be doing, for that hour or 30 minutes or 15 minutes, you could be doing something that's going to benefit you or your family in a positive fashion. And here's the real kicker. You only have to learn how to do it for a little while, and then you learn little tricks like I just showed you where you use Hootsuite or the actual program that's really, better for that. What we're using right now is called Mass Planner. And those of you that are already in the group, actually, I should probably pop into the chat here and see a little bit of what's going on, but that are familiar with that kind of stuff. So I'm going to breeze through. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I was on the offer, so let me finish this real quick. Again, we're back on the offers page for the second program. I'm going to click cost and refresh because it brings all the free and low-cost offers to the front page. You can see on April 29th of 2012 is when I did my offers. You only do this one time. All right, I can't show you any more proof of how long I've been doing this and that I know what I'm talking about. And you just seen that I logged in and I already got money sitting there from ads I put out today. So regardless of where you're at in your life and your situation, you have the ability right now. I showed you how to get started for free. All right, if you don't have a debit card, then go figure it out. Go find somebody that'll help you do this. Because I've had a couple that had 3 boys under 5 years old. They were on their way to eviction, and the guy said, man, we need some help. Will you help us? I said, will you work for it? They said, absolutely. And they busted their tail, and they're friends today. They live in a little town in Missouri that didn't have a whole lot of opportunity, but they still had their family. They still had heart. They still had, compassion. They still had dreams and desires that they wanted for their kids, so they went for it, all right? Now, you have to get the 1 credit over here. So and they pay more money. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did 7 of them. I went a little bit over there. All right. Here's some of this. So now we did GameFly. We can't do it again. We did Protection, and we can't do the My Credit Score. You notice they're a little bit lower because they pay out more money. When you do a trial on GameFly, okay, it registers from GameFly. Hey, ZNZ sent you guys, somebody to try out your stuff. So you're going to pay ZNZ money. ZNZ is going to, put it into the bank here, and they're going to pay you. That's where the money comes from. Would you rather do a trial for free, okay, and have them, check it out and have them pay ZNZ, or would you rather pay a fee to get into this and a fee every single month? Me personally, I'd rather GameFly pay for the business. All right, you could actually do one deal on the other one for 25 bucks and use the money over here because we can't do these anymore. But let's see what they got over here. Credit Sesame is free. That's 0.5. This is free here. This is a Target Red card. I'm not going to use that because you actually have to be approved for the card. If we're having a hard time financially, typically people's credit aren't in the greatest of shape, which you'll find out when you do your creditreport.com trial. But anyways, you know what I'm saying, that's 0.5. So let's go over here. We can do 5 over there, and if we spend $1 on Video Stripe, that's 0.20. You know, if we come across the board here and we spent $2, $3, $4, that's 0.15, 0.25, 0.40, and we got 5 up here. That's 0.45. You get the hint, okay? So you need another 55. If we went and did, you know, some trials across here, or you can, you know, check this out. This one's 0.20. It's a little bit more. This one right here is actually 0.45, and a lot of people, you know, just go ahead and they get to the opportunity to check it out and learning a different language. All right, it's recommended by Forbes, purchased by the FBI. I guess it's a language learning program. I can't think of the one that I have, but I have one with 36 different languages. Really, really cool. Anyways, you get to try really cool stuff. And the reality of it is, people look at this as a cost, and I look at this as an opportunity because I spent 15 bucks, and I make thousands of dollars every month. I can't even, if you spend $10 a week in gas going back and forth to work, you know, it's costing you $500 a year. If you spend, you know, 20 bucks a week in gas going back and forth to work, it's costing you $1,000 a year. I went through and I showed you how just going to work as a bartender and a waiter for Red Lobster, it cost me pretty close to 200 bucks in over a 7-8 day period of time. So, oh, awesome, Lindsay! I didn't know you made it on there. Awesome. But that's, you know, that's the reality of it, folks. I mean, you know, expand your minds, use a little bit of, you know, creativity. I took something that I seen a picture, I thought it was cool, and I was like, man, people are just, you know, how many bank fees I've paid a lot of bank fees over the years. I know everybody can relate to that. Even when you're making money, a lot of times I make a mistake. You know, my mother, on the other hand, you know, she's never 65 and never missed a payment in her life or anything like that. So, you know, there are exceptions to the rule, and you might be one of them, and that's all fine and dandy. But it's just about being real. It's about being practical, and it's about making a decision in you. You know, like I started in the beginning of this thing, you know. The original theme of tonight was how to take $20 and turn it into 200,000. And for those of you that are here that are on the team, obviously you're going to be here and you may know what I'm talking about, because I was going to actually bring on my special guest. Lindsay, can you hear me? You can unmute yourself. Are you like live, your internet's back, or are you frozen, or are you just on there with your phone? I see your picture.
Well, since it's like 8 foot of snow here, I'm in and out still.
All right, we can hear you now, though. You want to jump in there? I don't know how long you've been on. I kind of have already gone over everything. We'll save the $20 into the 200,000. So if you're in, then we know you're going to be back here, because you know we do this for you every week. If you haven't gotten in yet, you probably want to get in so you can learn how to do that. I just basically showed you guys how to start for free on one program, turn around and take maybe 10, 12, 15 bucks on the other program and get started, and be able to make 100 bucks a pop. You also saw when I logged in that there was already money sitting there from today's ads that happened. So you got to see it live and in person. Go ahead and come back on, Lindsay. I just wanted to kind of recap there. I've been working with Lindsay for almost 3 years, and she was right in the same boat. You know, December of 2011, she made a decision to get involved in this. I came along in April of 2012. But, you know, she's made almost a couple $100,000 because she made a decision to make a commitment to herself. ZNZ doesn't charge you any money. You can do it if you want. You can, you know, leave if you want. You know what I'm saying? You only do the trials one time. You know, same way you're going to have a job. And I spend a little bit of money on a couple programs so that I could spend 15, 20 minutes. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I spend $10 a month on Hootsuite. I was in a hurry today. It made me $100 today. Never mind what I've already made for the rest of it because I use it a lot. I can post on Twitter, LinkedIn, all kinds of different things. Are you still having trouble, Lindsay? I'm just waiting for you to unmute and come back out because it's a little after. There you go. Why don't you come in and kind of maybe finish it off a little bit?
I can't get my webcam to. I don't know. It's like it's like I'm on slow motion.
We can hear you fine though. Go ahead and do an audio.
So okay. Anywho, you guys are on here because you want to make some money, right? Well, let me give you a little background about me. I got started 4 years ago. I spent $12 and I've made a killing. Okay. And so today, like everybody else was worried about their jobs, my friends are all calling me and they're like, I'm so scared. I don't want to go to work. And I'm just like, that's a real problem for you. Because I don't have that problem. And so, I just got to thinking about it this morning. I was like, it's just sad that people choose to do something they hate. So let me tell you the definition of insanity. Okay, you guys want to know? It's doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So here's my theory. If you're going to work at a job that you hate, that you have to worry about calling in because you're going to be in trouble, if you've got to, your kids are sick, then that's insanity, okay? Because it's never going to get any better. So my advice to you is to get out of your comfort zone and join us. You can ask anybody on our team. We're like the best team on the internet because we help each other, we support each other, we motivate each other. Like Joe had my back tonight because my internet is like stupid. So if it had been anybody else, I would have panicked, right? But I work from home, and Joe's like, oh, I got you. No big deal. How cool is that? How many of your coworkers would do that for you? Not very many, just so you know. You had an ulterior motive of wanting to get off or your pay rate, right? So that's the cool part about working from home. But I do want to see if I can share. Let me see if it'll share my screen. Hang on. Because, it's one thing if one person makes money, but like it's a total different thing when there's others that make money. You know what I'm saying? So I got started in 2011 and I made $84 my first day. 2 days later, I made another $84. 2 days later than that, I made $168. Well, anyways, you can see it just goes on and on and on. And this is just from Big Cash, guys. This isn't even, ZNZ or ZNZ1. So as you can see, on and on and on. This is all the money that I've made, and literally, like I have a class, and we're fixing to be offering it to everybody's leads. I actually created it for my team. And I'm really pumped up and excited because it's going to take you through like how to do this, how simple it is to work on the internet, right? So be watching out, and those of you that were invited by somebody, keep asking them because we're fixing to roll that out very, very soon. Anyways, it's almost made, but it tells you exactly how you can get started. Work 2 hours a day. Okay, 2 hours a day and make money. I mean, that's the point of this, right? You want to make money so that you can, go on vacation, so you can quit your job, so you can pay off a bill. Whatever your reason is, I don't know. I know what my reason was. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a mom. My kids are only little one time. I don't get that do-over. And I make more money doing this than I did as a nurse. Okay, so that's my goal. And when I set out to do something, I didn't stop until I did it. Yes, I did the offers just as well as everybody else. And everybody's like, well, that's just so frustrating. Well, guess what? Getting up, going to work at 6 o'clock in the morning frustrates me, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So, you got to pick and choose what's more important to you and what your priorities are. Mine was to be a mom. That's my ultimate goal, and that's what I do. So, anyways, you can see that, I can just scroll on down and down and down. I've also made I probably shouldn't show this because I think it has
Hey,
my
hey,
power
Lindsay.
line.
Lindsay, are you
Yeah.
are you doing that with your phone? Because the screen's backwards, so they're actually it's actually flipped around to where we're seeing it backwards. But you can still see the point there. I'm gonna mute back out because it's showing me instead of your screen when I'm talking. But I just wanted to let you know. I didn't know if you're trying to show with your phone or not.
Well, I was trying to show with my computer, but it's like dragging. So when you were talking a while ago, all I could hear was womp womp womp, and so ZNZ womp 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 womp. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess since it got snow, that the fiber optics or something are like froze. I don't know. Arkansas is not used to getting snow. But either which way, you get my drift. Go back to the person that brought you here, do the offers, and change your life. That's my best advice I can give anybody.
That's awesome.
So,
All right. Are you anything else you want to add, Lindsay, or you want to go ahead and okay, she's muted out. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, folks. We're a little bit after 10 o'clock, 10:15. Thank you guys for bearing with us. A little bit of the technical issues, and it was evident. I'm really, really happy and excited that Lindsay got to come on. We'll get a little bit more in depth in that. Obviously, we can't control the weather, the blizzards that she was having down there, but every Wednesday night we're here. If you scroll down below the video, you'll see the chat. If you scroll down below the chat, you'll actually see the steps to get started. Steps 1, 2, and 3 lead you right into the ZNZ programs, and that we had showed you in the video tonight. So thank you all for coming out. I'm going to not leave you hanging. I want to run through the. Yeah, I really love that cover picture. That's pretty cool. You guys can't see that though. You can see me. Let me just go ahead and jump through and look real quick and see if anybody has any questions. You guys are on a little bit of a delay, but if you can just throw some questions in there, I'll take them. Your questions. My associates here, Amy and Corey, and them are really, really awesome at jumping in here and helping out as well in the chat. Beth, I see you said you were going to give it a try. What have I got to lose? $20. It's not hundreds. You're absolutely correct on one account, and on another account, anybody that knows me that's in the group will kind of testify to this. I'm real straight up and straightforward. The only way you can lose is if you quit. Period. Exclamation point. It's not going to be an instant gratification. I can't really say that. It's $20. You guys already saw. I already made $100 today, and I was in a hurry. I really haven't put a whole lot into it. I did type in chat, and I've answered questions, and I've been here. I've been working. I'm just doing other things other than ZNZ, which is what Lindsay was kind of alluding to, and what we were talking about turning $20 into 200,000. Lindsay averages around about $1,000 a week part time with ZNZ. She literally does what I do. I showed you where or I told you about a little program that I use to put my ads out. It takes me 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes 30, with that program. And that's just slapping ads out real quick while I'm in a hurry. I might use that program for an hour because it also posts on Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus. I can go log into one program and I spend an hour or two. And this is where we're alluding to with Lindsay. We came across. I'm going to give you guys a really good tip. There's a book called Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Miracle Morning, Hal Hal Elrod Elrod. Contact anybody in our group, anybody on this webinar. Trinisha and Stephanie, you're new. Like within like a day or two. Trinisha today. You guys touch base with me. I'll go ahead and get that to you. Awesome book. Kind of teaches you how to. I alluded in the beginning. If you're not where you're at in your life, then you need to make some changes. So this is one of those things where you can kind of just like back up for a second, take a look at your day, and say, all right, I'm busy. I got these little things. You kind of organize yourself a little bit better. We spend a couple hours a day in the very beginning of the day, and we kind of set the whole thing up and let it go. Lindsay will jump on there whenever she's done in the morning, whether her boys are off to school, and she spends 2 to 3 hours setting her day up, writes herself a little blog that she's learning. We're going to allude to that because that little $20, actually, she said she got started for what, 12, 15 bucks. So it's actually less than $20. And I even showed you guys tonight where you can get started for around that same price, 15 bucks or whatever. She's made over $60,000 in a different company that we didn't even talk about tonight. This is the beginning, and I alluded to the skills that you learn in doing this is kind of the equivalent to a marketing degree. All right, because you're not just going to advertise for ZNZ. You're going to learn that in telling somebody about Mass Planner, the other program like Hootsuite, you're going to say, hey, you're going to become an affiliate there, and you're going to send them over to Mass Planner. If they take advantage of that, Mass Planner is going to say, hey, Joe, thank you, man, for referring somebody. Here's a commission. So now ZNZ's paying me, so is Mass Planner. You actually learn how to create multiple streams of income. This is about freedom and peace of mind. This isn't about joining a company or a deal or anything. This is about making a commitment to you. Lindsay made a commitment to herself, and she's turned, and about $200,000 in the last 3 years. 60 some odd $1,000 for somebody who had absolutely no clue what they were doing. Happened to see an ad on, right before Christmas, going, what the heck am I going to do for my kids? How am I going to take care of that? She said, you know what? The same thing Beth did. You know what? It's my last $20 bill. How much worse can it get? You know what I'm saying? And she went to work. Now, I'm not, she works a couple hours now because she's learned how to work smarter. Now, I said, we've been doing this for a long time. Here's the advantage of why you want to get started with us, why you want to get into this system here, because we teach you guys this. We guide you. We give you step-by-step instructions so that it doesn't take you through a lot of the pain and processes that we went through in learning. We didn't have this kind of system and setup. We didn't have a step-by-step instructions. We didn't have a training site that had every single little thing. You want to learn Facebook? Here, click here. You want to learn Craigslist? Click there. You want to learn about Pinterest? Click there. You want to learn about Twitter? Click there. You want to learn about classified advertising? You want to do video, on YouTube? You want to put out videos like this is going to be on YouTube right now. We're just doing a meeting, and it'll be there. So you're going to learn those trades and skills that you can apply to different companies and create multiple streams, which means you're not relying on any one person or any one company. You're relying upon yourself, and that's where I said you're making the investment in yourself. So real briefly, cash flow, PayPal, yes, is how we get paid. Corey's got everything covered there as far as Corey and Amy. You guys are awesome, man. Love you guys. Love the whole team. It's like a big family. Like there's 600 some odd people in the group there, and this is what it's all about. You're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. And see what Corey is showing you here and some of these things on the video. Actually, you can't see them. Actually, you can in the chat. But kind of give you an idea of what other people have used. We can't tell you what trials to do, but we can show you what other people have done in order to get their crediting. I showed you how to get started for free, absolutely zero on the very first one. You've seen that I've already made that money today, which you could in turn use for big cash, where you can say, you know what, I'm going to do both of these because my first deal is going to pay for this. And when I get my big cash, I've already got cash in my pocket. So thanks for showing up there, everybody, and being patient with us. Love you guys. You know how to get a hold of me and get a hold of the person that invited you here. If you're not part of the team yet, make a decision in you, and let's make it happen. Have a great night.